Hi, I'm your teacher, Denise Gallant, and I'm sitting here in my studio at home. You could see some of my old pictures on the wall of what I did in the past. Let's see, I am going to show you in this first video how to organize your project and your files. First of all, you have already seen a video on what is Premiere Pro, and also you have downloaded 3 files. In fact, here are the 3 files right here. It's a folder called Monterey Assets, and it's Ocean, Pelican, and Seals. And we will use those 3 files in this first project, and we will edit those. And then you will turn in a final movie. So let's get going on that. First of all, organizing your project. Okay, the first thing you want to do is create a folder. So File, New Folder, and we will label that Week 1. Now you should have this on a small drive that you will provide for this class. If it has 100 gigabytes, that would be plenty. So in Week 1, I am going to put those Monterey assets so I don't accidentally erase them for some reason. So here's Week 1, Monterey assets, and my 3 files. Okay, so let's open up Premiere Pro. There's a small PR down here on the bottom of the screen. It says Adobe Premiere Pro 2019, so I have an older version. So I'm going to click on that, and I'll open up Premiere Pro. And there's the front screen. Yours will look different since you have 2020. Okay, I'm going to pause. Okay, so when you open up Premiere Pro, the first screen you'll see is this Welcome Back to Premiere Pro sign. And it basically is allowing you to create a project. I could open up past projects, or I could create a new project, which I will do right now. Okay, where is it going to go? It is going to go into that folder that we just created. So that was on my desktop in Week 1. So I'm going to choose that. So now I'm going to have my project as well as my 3 clips in that folder. Okay, what am I going to call it? I'll just say Week 1 project. You can call it anything you want because I won't have that as a turn-in. Okay, here's the basic interface to Premiere Pro. There's basically, a set of about 5 windows. Right now what we're going to do is import into Project 1, this lower left window. So I'm going to double click in it. That's one of the ways to get your assets in. And I'm going to click on the whole folder, Monterey Assets, and import them. Okay, and there they are, and you see them. I open up the little triangle and I see all my clips in here. So I'm going to see what kind of information I have about these clips. They're 30 frames a second, 29.97 to be exact, and hopefully they're all the same size. So let's try one. I'm going to select Ocean, and I'm going to drag and drop it over into my timeline. Now you see a couple things happen. First of all, this effects control window became active. I'm going to go back to source, not that that's important, and I get to see my ocean up here in this window. I could trim, so I see that this ocean is about 15 seconds long. In my timeline it says 1424. I'm going to make that shorter. I'm going to take the end of it where this little icon turns red and has an arrow. I'm going to trim the beginning, and I'm going to move it over. Okay, so now my ocean is shorter. Let's see, let's start at the beginning here. And I'm going to hit the space bar to play that ocean. And now you can see my ocean, and it is about, 6 seconds and 18 frames. So 6.18. Okay, so that's kind of a basic editing tool. I'm going to drag and drop it, and I'm going to trim it. Another way to edit with basic editing tools is to click on the, I'll click on the next thing. I'll click on Pelicans. Okay, now I'm up in my source window, so I'm going to trim it in with the cursor here. And I'm going to say, I just want this little part where he turns his head. So I'm going to start at the beginning here, and I'm going to hit the I for in. And I'm going to say, I'm going to have him do that and just say O for out. Okay, so I see here that this little clip is now 3 minutes and 22 frames, as we see right here. Now I'm going to drag that and drop that and put it in the timeline next to my ocean. So here's my ocean. I'm playing it by hitting the space bar, and there's my little pelican. Okay, let's try the seals. I'm going to do that same technique. I'm going to click on the seals, and I'm going to say maybe right here will be the in point. For I for in, I-N, and O for out. Maybe right before that boat comes in the scene. So O for out. And I see it's 8 seconds and 19 frames long, and I'm going to drag and drop that. And notice as I drag and drop it, it snaps to the one before it. So that's nice for basic editing. And there's my 3 edits: my ocean, my bird, and my seals. Okay, so this is a project. What I've just done is a lot of work, and I'm going to say File, Save As. So I'm saving my project. I'm saving my work. Now, where do I want it to go? I want it to be Week 1 project. And so I have to resave it. If I don't resave it, it won't be there when I come back, all that work. I could even give it a new name. I'm going to say Week 1 Project 2, for instance. I could resave it over the previous one. Either way is fine. Okay, now what I have, and I'm going to do Command H for hide, I'm going to see in that Week 1 folder, I have these 2 projects, the one that's later, the one that's earlier, my Monterey assets, the 3 movies, and all of a sudden I've got this other folder, and it says Premiere Pro Autosave. So in the background, it saved another project for me. And how many are they going to save and how long? I'm going to get back to here. I'm going to go Premiere Pro, Preferences, Auto Save. And I see, as soon as it opens up, that it's saving every 15 minutes. Now, I at home would actually say I want it to save every 5 minutes. Why is that? Because the projects don't take up a lot of room on my drive. I could have as many as I want, pretty much. What takes up room on your drive are the actual movie clips. Okay, so let's now, we'll stop for the moment. And I'm going to save this movie, and then I'll show you in the next movie how to export a final movie. Okay.